Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well and having a fantastic week. 'Tis the season to be spooky, so I thought why not create some fun little kind of Halloween recipes that you can use with your birds. So the recipes today are going to be a witch's brew spooky green smoothie. We're also making edible eyeballs and also stuffed carved bell peppers. So a real variety. Now I can't take credit for the bell peppers and the eyeballs. I have seen them on other videos and on Pinterest. I did see kind of a similar thing on Emily Norris's video, but the green smoothie is mine. But I think it's still fun to kind of adapt these recipes because I haven't seen them done for parrots. I've seen them done for like children and parties and things. So we're making them for parrots today. So all the ingredients that I'm going to be using are going to be parrot safe. You can chop and change the recipes as to how you like, but of course just double check that anything you use is parrot safe. Now I'm not technically using pumpkin today. I'll put a little bit in the stuffed peppers, but pumpkins are an amazing food for your birds. They are brilliant. Try and incorporate them if you can this season because they're fantastic. The pumpkin seeds are edible for birds. They are slightly higher in fat, but they're really nutritious. And you can also sprout them as well. And the actual flesh of the pumpkin too is really nutritious. So if you can get your birds to enjoy some pumpkin, that's awesome too. But in terms of the recipes we're going to be making, let's get started. So to start off with our carved bell peppers, of course you're going to need bell peppers. I like to go for a good variety, so I've got a nice orange one, and a yellow one and a red one. I'm going to prep the orange one first because it looks most like a pumpkin, and then I will show you how to do the rest of the bits. The next tool you'll need is a paring knife. I'm just going to use one of these. You can use another knife, but I just find the blade's a bit smaller and it's a little bit safer. And of course, for any of my younger viewers, please make sure you seek adult supervision before you get started on this kind of DIY. So what we're going to do is just take the top off of the pepper, safely of course. So just use your paring knife to go around the top, just like this. And then just use the stem to pull the top off. Now you'll see there's some lovely pepper seeds in there. These are really safe and tasty for your birds, so make sure you save these. Just pop them to one side while we prepare the pepper. Then with all of these white fleshy bits, I'm just going to pull them out just to make it look a bit neater. They're not dangerous for your bird, but they're not that tasty either, so I'm just going to take those bits out really quick. Then the next stage is actually creating the face on your bell pepper. So we're just going to do a typical face like you do on a pumpkin. So 2 eyes, a nose and a little mouth. We'll see how well it goes down, but I'm going to give it a go. So use your paring knife, again be really careful with your fingers. And then you're just going to do 2 eyes at the top. So there are the eyes. There is the nose. And there you have the mouth. So it kind of looks like a pumpkin, but it is with a bell pepper. So now that I've created my carved bell pepper, I'm going to start filling it with some goodies. So I've got a whole range of goodies here. Of course I'm going to use the pepper seeds from the head of the pepper, they're going in there too, but I'm going to line it with curly kale. I've got some rosemary, I've got the bird's chop for the week, which has got pumpkin, carrots, broccoli and peas. I've got fresh pumpkin seeds from a pumpkin I already have that I've carved up for their chop. I've got sprouted mung beans, and of course a treat wouldn't be complete without a seed and pellet mix. So I'm going to put all these bits in here and then we'll see what it looks like. So we'll line it with some kale. Then we'll put a bit of rosemary in there. My birds absolutely love herbs. Then we'll do a spoonful of chop. A couple of pumpkin seeds. A few sprouts. This also smells amazing, just so you know, so you'll have a lot of fun making this. And then finally, a little sprinkle of pellets and seeds. And there you have it. So I'm going to prepare the other 3 and then show you what they look like afterwards. So here's the finished result. I'm clearly not going to win any competitions for bell pepper carving, but they're supposed to look a bit crooked, aren't they? So here are the peppers with their little faces, and then inside are all of the goodies. And then it makes a really fun foraging toy for your parrot. Next up are the edible eyeballs. Now I tried out various complicated recipes to try and make these look good, and they all went horribly wrong, so we're going for something nice and simple. You are going to need some radishes, and some blueberries. I've frozen my blueberries to make them a little bit easier to work with, but they're probably going to stain my hands. But anyway, we'll start with one radish. And what I'm going to do is just cut off just the end there. I'm going to make that nice and flat on one end. And then on the other end, I'm just going to take off that little imperfection. These have all been washed, of course, before I get started. And then with your paring knife, like you did with the bell peppers, you're just going to gently start peeling off some of this red skin, just to kind of make the eye look bloodshot and a bit gory. Of course, be really careful with your knife. I don't want anyone hurting themselves. Just take your time. Now that I've carved around the edges, I'm just going to size up the top of the radish with a blueberry, just to get a rough idea of where it can sit. And then I'm going to carve a hole into the top of the radish, just with my knife. Because you want the blueberry to kind of sit kind of snug in there. Be nice and cosy. You can keep measuring and seeing where it will sit. Now you've got your pupil of your edible eye sat in your radish, you can freeze this to make it sit in place longer, and also it will make the treat last longer for your parrots. But I think it looks a little bit fun. Of course it's DIY and the intention is for it to be destroyed by your parrot. And of course everything I'm using is safe for birds to eat and consume. So I'm going to sort out the rest of the eyeballs and we'll have a look at all of them together at the end. So here are the edible eyeballs. I think they turned out quite well actually. They look quite spooky and gruesome and stuff. So another kind of really fun thing that your parrot can destroy, and they can also be held in the foot as well for some of the bigger parrots, so that can be fun too. But be careful because I've stained my fingers with the blueberries, so it could be a messy one. And finally we're going to make our Witch's Brew spooky green smoothie. Most people don't really think of parrots and smoothies going hand in hand, but they can actually be a really fun treat for if your parrot, for example, likes to steal from your cup or from your plate. If you want to share something with your parrot, you can use ingredients that are both safe for you and your parrot, and then they can get involved and have a little sip and think that they're being naughty when actually they're eating and drinking what you want them to. So for this smoothie, I've gone for a very simple array of ingredients, but you can pick and choose what you'd like to put in there. It's really good for hiding vegetables, so if you think that your parrot might enjoy trying a smoothie, you can pack loads of veggies in and something a little bit sweet to entice them, and then they'll think that they are having something really nice and naughty, but actually they're having something really healthy. So for my smoothie, we've got some more curly kale, all freshly washed. I've got a really nice ripe banana. I've also got about roughly half a chopped red apple, and then I've got half a glass of water. So I'm just going to pop all of my ingredients into my NutriBullet cup. Of course you can use whatever you have at home, whether it's a food processor, blender or something similar, just to blend it all up to make it a smoothie. So I'm going to get a nice big handful of kale, chuck that in there. Then I'm going to take my banana, peel it of course, because they can't eat the skin. And then it's not going to come out properly, so we're just going to break it up into smaller bits just to make it easier for the blender. Just like that. I'm going to pop like half a chopped apple in there, and then half a glass of water as well. Now I'm going to whiz this up in my NutriBullet. If I need to add any more water, then I can do that as and when. Or if I need to add a few more dry ingredients because it's too watery, I can do that as well. So I'm going to go and do that now. So here's the finished result, my spooky or witch's brew smoothie. You can see it bubbling away at the top there, like a little potion. And as I said, a really fun way of trying to hide veggies into something that your birds might try and steal, thinking that they're naughty, but actually you want them to eat and drink it. So I hope you enjoyed seeing today's recipes, and let me know if you give them a go with your birds. Let me know what bird you have and what they thought of them, and let me know if you have any other kind of Halloween recipes. I'd love to hear them as well. But from me and Pickles, thank you so much for watching. Happy Halloween, take care, and see you later.